What is going on, YouTube? Thanks so much for checking out this video. In today's one, I'm going to be talking about why it is that you cannot lose body fat and how to break through that cycle. So let's get right into it. Now, just before we get into it, I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight onto like how I'm actually going about talking about this. You know, these aren't just things that I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. I've worked with over 70 clients from the in-person to the online setting, and these are things that I've learned, apply directly to my clients, and because of that, you know, also applying into my own life, I have a lot to be able to say on this topic. So let's go right into it. Let's get started. So the three things that are causing you to not be able to drop body fat are as follows. So you have your metabolism. Now, when it comes to your metabolism, this is the driving force that's going to allow your body to burn calories. So if you know that like you can get your metabolism operating efficiently, that's going to solve a lot of problems. A lot of people are overweight or they store body fat because they don't have their metabolism optimized, right? And so our metabolism is going to allow our body to ramp up calories, burn more calories at rest, and that's going to allow us to burn more fat, right? Because if we were getting our body from burning, instead of 500 calories, as an example, to now 750, you're getting another 250 calories every single day that your body is burning, literally just on autopilot. So that is the main reason is your metabolism is not optimized. And the reason it's not optimized is because it's probably not in a solid routine. Right? Like just like we want a routine for sleep, having our metabolism in a routine of knowing when it gets food, when it gets water is very, very important in order to get your body to this accelerated state where now it's burning rapidly through calories. That would be the most important thing I would say would be getting your metabolism in a good spot, because when you undereat for too long, your body actually restricts how many calories it burns. Your body takes that as a way of saying, hey, we don't know when we're getting energy next. All of a sudden, this guy or girl just decided not to eat for the last, 8 hours and normally eat every 2 or 3. The metabolism slows down and it starts to conserve energy. It holds on to energy. In addition, it doesn't want to waste any water because it doesn't know when you might need the water. So it also will typically store more water weight. This could be a reason that you're feeling bloated, right? And eventually, people get into the cycle where their metabolism slows down. And instead of burning, most people say, 2,000 calories is the average for what you need. The reason that number one, that's not accurate, but the reason that so many people say that is because for a while, the average caloric burn was around 2,000, and that was like deemed pretty good, and it still is pretty good. But the thing is, most people are far below that. You see, you don't need 2,000 calories if your body's only burning 800, right? Like you probably need to work your metabolism up so that it can operate efficiently at that 2,000, but you ultimately might need that amount of calories. But what's more important is not how many calories you need, but how many you're burning. Because if you're burning X number of calories, then that's going to give you a lot of insight onto how much you actually need. A lot of people get into the cycle where their metabolism slows down. And so over time, drop some of these habits, maybe not kept up with their water intake, not kept up with their exercise, not kept up with their cardio, not kept up with their nutrition. Although it might not seem like a huge difference, over time, appetite's kind of going down. My metabolism is not really where it used to be. And because of that, you get into the cycle where, okay, now you're burning 2,000 calories and now you're eating 1,800, 1,600, weeks over weeks go by, 1,500. Your body's going to adapt to that. Your body adapts to its environment. So now that 2,000 drops to 1,500. So just as an example, again, you're now burning 500 calories less per day, every single day, just because you decided to not, eat more food. Like when you eat more food and you're pairing that with proper exercise and you have the right structure, you're accelerating your metabolism, you're giving the nutrients to your body in order for it to operate efficiently, and you're doing so in a safe way so that you're not going to gain a bunch of fat. You're doing so in a strategic approach, right? But oftentimes we get into the opposite cycle where now, where we're slowing down our metabolism, eating less. So because of that, again, water weight, fat stores just starting to increase. So you wouldn't just want to jump from that 800 or 1,000 calorie mark that you're currently eating to 2,000, you want to accelerate the metabolism. So what that means is you need to start to slowly increase the caloric expenditure. It's just how much energy your body uses every single day. So you want to slowly and gradually get your body burning more and more calories per day, because that's going to allow your body to start tapping into body fat as energy. And that is what we want. If we can get our body, in the consistent routine of eating every few hours, after a period of optimization, our body now knows, okay, this is the time to eat. Let's go eat. Now, this is the real sauce right here. When your body gets to this point that your metabolism is optimized, and now you don't have food in your system, what happens next? Your calories stay the same, right? And you don't have food in your system, and your body is trained to eat every 3 or 4 hours because you've actually taught it, this cycle of tapping into energy stores. Now body fat is the first source of energy your body is using. But here's the trick. If you go too long in that state without food, then again, the metabolism shuts back down and you conserve energy, and you're not tapping into fat stores, you're actually tapping into muscle stores, and that's making you lose muscle mass. So number one, I would say, if you optimize your metabolism, it's going to get you burning more. And it's also, going to allow you to eat more so it's not restrictive. And because of this, you're burning more calories and you're expending more calories. And in addition, you're working out more, you're having more energy. Because of this, you're getting better quality workouts, you're lifting heavier weights, you're building more muscle. That's what I think would be helpful, is knowing optimizing your metabolism will literally accelerate your fat loss. But most people don't want to go through that phase. And most people try to skip steps, and so they jump from their metabolism being in an all-time low to trying to get it to an all-time high, and they just try eating a ton of food. Like, it never works that way. When you get to a point that your metabolism is optimized, your body now is very, very efficient with nutrients. Because of this, your body is very likely going to be efficient with carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And as it gets more efficient with carbohydrates, it will start to tap into those body fat stores. Because again, you've taught it it's a cycle of staying consistent with feeding times, right? And so now every few hours, your body is tapping into the energy source. And so whether or not you have food in your system, because you're typically eating around these times, your body has to tap into energy, and it will tap into body fat stores. Now, again, this is only because you've optimized your metabolism to do so. Our metabolism is now just really, really good with metabolizing the nutrients that we're giving it. Your body now can easily regulate tapping into body fat stores. Second reason that you're not seeing the fat loss you want is you're not prioritizing muscle gain. Now, when it comes to muscle gain, the benefit to gaining more muscle, if you're looking to lose fat, is as you have more lean muscle mass on your body, that is going to drive the amount of calories that you burn at rest every single day up dramatically. So it's going to make a huge difference. If you can start to increase muscle mass paired with also having your metabolism in a good spot, then you'll notice, wow, fat is going down, but most importantly, muscle is going up, because muscle going up drives fat down. And as a bonus, you're going to have more of that tone defined look and more of that muscular look that most people aim for. Because when people say fat loss, it's not just fat loss. You don't want, the fat gone, but also the muscle gone, and to have this skinny fat look. A lot of people don't want that, and that's what I hear so many times on all these calls I go on to, is like, hey, I want lower body fat but more muscle. And it's important to know that you need to be driving both metrics at each other, meaning you need to be building muscle up and bringing fat down. And that's how you get into that sweet spot where you have that look that you want. Because if you are only focusing on bringing fat down, then you're also going to lose muscle. And because of that, you're not going to have that tone defined look. And also because of that, you're burning so many less calories. Now, if you can focus on those two, optimizing your metabolism to get into a good routine of when it eats and building muscle, you only have one more thing that's really holding you back from not seeing the progress you want when it comes to fat loss. Now, number 3 reason that you are not seeing the fat loss you want is your calories. What's more important to look at is not how many calories you're burning every day, but how many you're consuming. Because if you can know how many calories you're consuming every single day, that will give you a good idea of how many you should be burning. And if you can focus on getting your calories in check, that will make sure that you're burning less calories than you're consuming. That leads to fat loss. But here's where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of people think that they want to drop their calories 400, 500, or 600 calories underneath what they actually are burning. And that is not always going to work. It can. But the reason that doesn't always work is because, again, back to my initial point, as you start to drop the calories too much, your body gets into the state where it gets frightened, it gets fearful that you're not going to get food for another couple of days, and so it holds on to it. And that because of that, that forces your metabolism to shut down and slow down a bit and become less efficient. And so now you're eating drastically under where you should be, and you're ultimately still staying in that cycle. So yeah, you're here, it's the calories you're eating, but now you're kind of just still here. You're in that same spot, right? So super important. You want to make sure you know where your calories are and that you're burning more calories than you're consuming, but that the number is not too high. Because if it's too high, then again, those variables and those things start to shut down and make it tough to actually do so. So I say anywhere from that 50 to 150 calorie mark is perfect. Do that every single day. 50 calories less, upwards of 150, somewhere in the middle, whatever you feel good with. Do that for a week to 10 days. And after that period, increase that to, double it, right? So, okay, maybe now it's 100 to 300 calories. But even that 300 calories is a big jump. So take your time with it. Do it for a week. See how you feel. Okay, like you're seeing good results. Boom, now your metabolism is optimized. Muscle mass is increasing, which is helping you produce more testosterone, burn more body fat, burn more calories at rest, all in, addition to getting your calories to where they need to be. These will allow you, these three factors, to shred fat and keep it off with ease. Another bonus for you guys, I say to the end, is water intake. If you guys can increase more water intake, it's going to allow your body to get into a very similar cycle as it does with food. So water intake, if you can get your water intake on point, I recommend starting with about a half gallon, and then you can slowly increase that from there. But just getting it gradually higher than where you're at will allow your body to start to flush out a lot of that water intake, and you'll notice a lot less bloating. So I hope that helped some of you guys. Stay tuned for more content like this. If you do want to hear a bit more about my processes and how, I would help take you from point A to point Z with your fat loss and muscle gain journey, then comment on this video the word transform, or you can click the link in the description to book a free strategy call. And on that call, we'll just talk about, where you're at, where you're looking to go, if I feel I can help you. And if so, we'll talk next steps from there, get you enrolled and make some serious progress. Appreciate you guys staying to the end, and stay tuned for content like this. You guys are absolutely goated in terms of subscribers. I'm just going to continue putting out value. But that being said, comment on these videos if you guys are getting value from it. If there are specific topics you guys want to hear more about, I'll dive deep into, whether it be creatine, fat loss, when the time is right to eat, starchy foods, white starches versus dark starches. These are just ideas I have on top of my head. Knee pain, lower back pain, foot pain. I have so many ideas that I want to talk about, but I want to make sure that I'm putting across the messages that you guys resonate with most. So I'm going to keep doing my own thing. I have my ideas generated and my content coming out soon. I usually just go off the top. But if you guys have any suggestions on like things you want to hear more about, or like questions on like how to actually achieve this, like I will break it down for you guys step by step and give you guys the blueprint on how to achieve the ideal physique you want. Or if there's a different topic you want to talk about or hear about on my journey, then I'd love to give you guys my experience and what I've seen success with. So stay tuned for more content like this, and appreciate you guys